Well, I can see y'all finally got here, and you probably don't know what we're doing. But right now, we're taking the oil pan off a motor, which goes all the way to the story of my dad telling me I'm getting to the age of I'm gonna drive soon, so he's gonna get me a car. So you know what he runs across? Another great deal. And you know, it isn't the worst deal he's found. It's actually pretty neat. The only thing bad with it was a bad motor, and he got this truck. And it's a pretty nice truck. It's got like, it's 4-wheel drive. It's already lifted, and it's got some pretty big old tires on it. The only thing is, it's got a bad motor and a few dents somewhere and a little rust. But that's about it. And so we're just gonna finish taking this off and get going. Alright, well, here's the tires. You can tell they're pretty big. They come up to almost my waist. And the truck was actually it's been a few weeks since you last saw what we were doing on the truck. And we ran out of tape the day we were working on it. But after that, we took the motor to the car wash after we took it all apart and cleaned it all up. But then we noticed that one of the cylinders had a really bad spot in it, so we had to take it back to the machine shop, and they had to bore it out to 30 thousandths. So now we got a whole new pistons, and we got pretty much a new block. And so today we're going to show you putting it back together and the stages of that and everything.
Well, here we are at Harmon's machine shop. And what's your name now?
Merle.
Merle. And what kind of engine do you have here?
It's a 64 409, 425 horsepower.
Oh, that's a nice looking engine.
Right.
What do you think about that motor?
I like big blocks.
Yeah, I think it's one of the prettiest Chevrolet motors they ever come out with.
Yeah.
You gonna fire it up?
Yeah.
Well, let's hear it run there.
Let's do it.
Alrighty, so what we've got to do now is put new bearings in these areas, which we're going to call the bearing galley. And what goes in here is the crank, which pushes the pistons up and down and gives your combustion. And so, if I can get these open, we just take them and slide them in to these notches right here.
I think I figured it out.
So we got all the main bearings in place, so now we're ready to put in the crank, to drop in the crank. You gotta be real careful with this. Alright, well, I forgot to mention that we had lubed all the bearings, and what we used was this STP's oil treatment stuff. So now we're gonna, when we put in the other side bearings, we're gonna oil them. We're gonna oil it all again to lubricate it all, so it'll be nice and mobile. Okay, well, we had a little problem seeing which ring went where, and if you can tell, this one's not tapered. It's just square, rectangular-ish. And that one's supposed to go on the top of the ring. We didn't know that because we didn't see the taper like these had. If you can see it, it's very little right on the bottom. And so those go on the top, right?
What?
Okay, well, we have them right. We have it right. We checked them over and over, and so we've got it right now. Alright, so we got all the rings on there, and so we're going to install the #1 piston. And so we put these rubber hoses on these so we don't scratch up or damage the journal that's on the crank. But it doesn't fit because the rings have to be compressed. So what we have to use is this neato tool called a spring compressor. So what we do is we put it around here, we tighten it up, and it'll compress all the pistons, and then we'll just slide it in there and it'll fit great. Alright, let me tap this in there, see if it'll do it. Alright, there it is. It's all in there. So now that compressed all the piston rings, so we just slide it on in there. So now we got to do it for the rest of them. Alright, so we got the last piston in. So now what we got to do is flip around, put the last rod cap on, and then we got to torque everything down. The main gets torqued 60, and caps get torqued around 30 or so. Don't scar the crank. That's vital. Wrong.
How's that?
4 goes with 4. Alright, now that we got everything down, we gotta torque everything. So we've got them everything. The mains are torqued around 30 right now, and everything else is just pretty much not torqued at all yet. So we gotta work our way up to the main. So we're gonna tighten it up to 45 foot-pounds, and then we'll go to 60. Alrighty, so got everything torqued down, got everything done on the inside. Right now we're just getting the oil pan on, and you gotta make sure that this part right here, sometimes after a long time it gets dimples in it. It'll be wavy, and you don't want that, because when it gets that wavy, it means spots oil can come out of, and you'll have oil leaking out of your car everywhere, which is not what you want. So we've already made sure it's pretty smooth and everything. So right now we're hand tightening all the oil pan bolts and getting ready to tighten it all up securely. Alright, so we had everything down, so we started putting on the head, and you have to torque each head bolt to 90 pounds, and we've already got them to 50 right now, and we're supposed to do it in 2 sets, so we'll do it 65 or something, then we'll go to 90. You always start from the middle, work your way out, so you go here, here,